What's going on? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and you're watching NFL Daily, and today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. I'm going to be giving you 6 NFL news and rumors, and I'm kicking this one off with Doug Baldwin because I think he retired, but I'm not quite sure. So he goes on Twitter, and he starts this one off saying, "Letter to my younger self. Let me just also say, this was a 20-tweet thread. That's insane." Now, he did this on Sunday night. Now, the reason why everyone's wondering if Doug Baldwin retired, it's because he ended the thread with a scene from one of his favorite shows, Game of Thrones, with the caption, "My watch has ended." Now, the latest episode of Game of Thrones had just aired. Between you and me, guess what? I've never seen the show. But Baldwin Seattle's career ended last Thursday after 8 seasons when him and former teammate Cam Chancellor failed their physicals, and ultimately the team released him. Now, Baldwin has had a ton of off-season surgeries on his shoulder, his knee, sports hernia, and has basically been considering retirement for a while, and even their GM came out and said that Baldwin has hinted that he was going to retire. Now, it's not necessarily official, but I read an entire 20-tweet thread for a reason, because it's looking like Doug Baldwin retired. Now, the way that he ended it, "My watch has ended," I said it before. I've never watched this show, but the hype around this Game of Thrones show has got the people talking. And I want to know from everybody who's watching us here on YouTube or Facebook, and if you do watch on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Do you watch Game of Thrones? And if you do, slide in my DMs so I can understand what the heck is all the hype around this show. So type Y for yes or type N for no. Do you watch Game of Thrones? And if you do, maybe you can convince me that I should start watching the show. Yeah? I'll tell you what, one person who I would watch is Gronk's current girlfriend, and this is a report kind of from her. So, a source very close to Gronk, a.k.a. his girlfriend, former Patriots cheerleader Camille Kostick, who is also one of the models for Sports Illustrated swimsuit. So, good for you, Gronk. Good for you. She briefly talked about Gronk's retirement during an interview with Barstool Sports. And when she was asked about Gronk potentially coming back, she did say he is retired. He is officially retired. But she also kind of said that, well, he could potentially come back. Now, Rob Gronkowski, when on the field and when healthy, you could argue is one of the best tight ends in the NFL. I mean, 79 touchdowns, 521 catches. My favorite stat about Gronk, he averaged .69 touchdowns every single game. Come on. If that's not the greatest Rob Gronkowski stat, then I don't know what is. But the reason why we're talking about Gronk potentially coming back is because ever since this dude has retired, there's been multiple reports that if the Patriots wanted him to come back, he would potentially do it. Now, I said earlier that Gronk, you could argue, is one of the best tight ends ever, so guess what I'm going to ask you? So if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Facebook, I want you to comment below on this video. Who is the greatest tight end ever? Is it Gronk? The last time I put this post up on our YouTube community, everyone freaked out about Shannon Sharpe. So I want to know, who is the greatest tight end ever to play in the NFL? The greatest place to put down your bets? It's BetDSI. And our promo code, Live120, is the greatest, the GOAT of promo codes out there. Use it. 120% deposit bonus. If you put down $50, you're going to get $60 for free. If you put down $100, you're going to get $120 for free. If you put down $500, get $600 for free. I bet Gronk would put down $69. I'm not good at math, so tell me how much that is maybe on YouTube. I would definitely appreciate that. Again, it's chatsports.com/bet. Let's go to Minnesota now for this next rumor. And basically all reports and all rumors around Minnesota right now are about a Kyle Rudolph trade. So NFL Media's Ian Rappaport reported last Friday that Minnesota contract extension talks with Kyle Rudolph are getting close to ending. Now, Mike Zimmer came out today, head coach of the Vikings, came out today, and he kind of gave a diplomatic answer, but he also hinted at, well, you could see him moving on. So here's his exact quote. "I've had conversations with Kyle, and quite honestly, I really love all my players. We expect Kyle to be here, but sometimes business gets in the way." Now, that's obviously, you can take that with a grain of salt. I mean, what do you expect the coach to say, right? He wants his player back. Kyle Rudolph was productive in 2016, and he's been pretty productive, I would say, for a tight end. He's also a tight end that knows how to block. But also the way that quote ends. Sometimes business gets in the way. When you're scheduled to make over $7 million and you have 1 year left on your contract, guess what? If you're not fully committed, and you also have to consider that they went out and they drafted a tight end in the second round in Irv Smith Jr. So the reason why you're seeing all these reports about Kyle Rudolph is because it could actually happen. Now, if Kyle Rudolph is traded by the Minnesota Vikings, where is he going to play in 2019? I want you to comment below, all right? And if you want to know where I think that Kyle Rudolph's going to play in 2019, it's at Mitchell Renz 365. Hard Knocks, who watches it? I do, and I'm still wondering who is going to be on Hard Knocks this year. According to Peter King, the reason why the NFL hasn't released on who's going to be on Hard Knocks yet is because the NFL is entering its 100th year, and they're going big, baby. And if you guys want to go big, maybe you want to get a team with a big market. Now, here are the 4 teams who could still be on Hard Knocks. Now, the 49ers, there was a report that the 49ers could technically still be on it, but there was a report that John Lynch, Shanahan, they don't want the team. So here are the 4 teams that are most likely to be on Hard Knocks. It's the Detroit Lions, the Oakland Raiders, the New York Giants, and then the Washington Redskins. And if you're wondering maybe what are some of the ways where you can't get on Hard Knocks, or why are only these 4 teams the most likely to get on? Now here's how to not be on Hard Knocks. First, your head coach. Have you made the playoffs in the last 2 years? And have you been on the show in the past 10 years? Now, the teams for Hard Knocks again are the Lions, the Raiders, the Redskins, and the New York Giants. So I'm going to let you soak that in a little bit, okay? So out of those 4 teams, I want you to do this. Who is going to be on Hard Knocks in 2019? Also, who do you want to be on Hard Knocks in 2019? If you guys know, I run the Raiders show here. You can't tell me there's a more entertaining team right now in the NFL than the Oakland Raiders. But sometimes that doesn't always mean they're going to be on, and I think having the Raiders on in 2020 would be really interesting. So, who's going to be on Hard Knocks in 2019? Let me know in the comment section. Let's go to Denver, because we're talking about Joe Flacco being the quarterback 1 for the Broncos. And the Broncos rookie minicamp concluded on Sunday, and starting today, the rookies, they joined all the veterans. Now, why does this matter? Well, Joe Flacco, we know that he was traded to the Broncos this offseason, and head coach Vic Fangio came out and said that he expects, I shouldn't say expects, he flat out said Joe Flacco will take all the first team reps. Now, and he also said that Kevin Hogan, Drew Lock, and Brett Ripon, no idea, are going to be in the mix for quarterback 2. Now, Joe kind of got benched by Lamar Jackson last year, and I don't know if it's going to happen to him again this year with Drew Lock, who they did draft in the second round, but when you look at his stats last year, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, Flacco has had that one magical playoff run. And ever since then, he's been just kind of mediocre in my personal opinion. Now, he's still obviously a Super Bowl MVP, and he's done a lot of great things, and you know, John Elway might not be the best at assessing quarterback talent, but, you know, to each their own. Now, with the fact that he came out already and said, Vic Fangio that is, that Flacco's going to be getting the first team reps, I think if I'm Joe Flacco, that makes me feel a lot more confident about my position. I also think it helps out the team knowing exactly where they're going to go. Now, let's say Joe Flacco does start every single game for the Denver Broncos in 2019. How many will they win? They had 6 wins last year. They're also in the AFC West, which I would argue is the hardest division in the NFL. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, get with the program. Subscribe below at youtube.com/chatsportstv, the internet's #1 place to watch all videos on YouTube. You want sports, you want NFL rumors, you want NFL literally anything, you want to watch all of our stuff, NBA content. Heck, we're going to be live for the NBA Draft Lottery, so come join us there at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's go to Chicago, and I want to tip my cap to Mike Davis because this dude, I think he won Mother's Day. Now, Davis surprised his mother on Sunday with an absolutely fantastic Mother's Day gift. Now, he signed with the Bears this offseason, and I think he used some of that money to really hook up his mom on Mother's Day. So here's his exact quote that he put out on IG. "Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you so much. I remember when I was younger, we moved every year to a new place. Days you didn't eat, but made sure we ate. I love you. Enjoy your house." This is an awesome quote, and I really, really want to tip my cap, like I said, to Mike Davis, who, sure, I understand NFL players make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, if you're going to hook up your mom with a house, to me, that is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to ask everybody who's watching right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, what did you get your mom for Mother's Day? I want you to comment below. I got my mom a pearl necklace, pearl earrings, and a matching bracelet on a necklace that I got her last year for Mother's Day. So I want to know from everybody watching, what did you do for your mom on Mother's Day? Comment below on YouTube, on Facebook, and make sure you guys subscribe at youtube.com/chatsportstv because we love all the moms out there.